James Blake, you done did it now. The internet is losing their minds. And by the internet, I mean twitter.com. Now, you may remember that just over 2 weeks ago, James Blake was going on a rant, if you will, on Twitter about how it's unfair that streaming doesn't pay, that artists have to use TikTok, etc., etc., etc. And I was feeling him, honestly, like, he was spitting. Now, a bit cryptically, 9 days ago, he tweeted this, that he thought he found a solution. So I was just like, what that? The announcement is here. Watch a little bit of this video.
19% of artists on Spotify have more than 1,000 monthly listeners. And TikTok pays artists so little that Universal just took their whole catalogue off it. So I've been wondering...
TLDR, James wanted to find a way for artists to be able to monetize their music fairly by interacting directly with their fans and not having to deal with middlemen or having to deal with being extroverted or doing dances and all the things that artists, for the most part, don't really enjoy doing to promote their work or reach their audience. The company is called Vault, as you can sort of see there. James is the flagship artist, so he's the first artist to launch on there, and it costs $5 a month to be able to access these 3 songs and have a private chat. I hopped in there so fast. That's me in the chat in the blue. It very much looks like iMessage UI UX. I'm loving it. I'm living for it. Super easy. And then once you're inside, the vault is where you can find the tracks, which essentially these are some unreleased songs from James. There has been a lot of press, organically, and praise from industry executives and also publications like Complex and Pigeons and Planes. Last time I checked, Vault has over 12,000 followers on Instagram and on its way to 4,000 on Twitter. James Blake has almost 10 million monthly listeners on Spotify. And between his Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter, over 1 million combined social media followers. Now, I am obviously biased because I am a fan of the man, but I don't think $5 a month is too much to pay for someone who's been able to do as much as he has and whose music is as good as his is. Naturally, as with all new things in life, there have been some conspiracy theories of who is actually behind Vault.fm. I have my theories, but I don't know. Just a wild guess. The fact of the matter is there's a lot of money that's made in the music industry every year, increasingly more so every year. And artists aren't seeing that. Producers aren't seeing that. Songwriters aren't seeing that. So me personally, I'm all ears for anyone who wants to try to find a solution. I'm not going to be mad at anyone who's trying. If these images on the website are any indication of any of the artists they're going to launch on Vault, is that Meek Mill? We might be seeing Meek Mill, y'all. Daniel Allen, Chelsea Cutler, Alexander 23. Again, this is just me speculating. Nothing has been confirmed. One thing I will say is that you really gotta give it to James because this man is in the trenches. And by trenches, I mean the Twitter comments, answering every question, comment, and concern as diplomatically as he possibly can. And that is an acquired skill. No good deed goes unpunished. So let's look at the comments. Never on twitter.com. Pretty sure he said that his vault, which is his unreleased music, is going to be on this platform. He never said he's taking his stuff off of Spotify or Apple Music or Tidal or anything. So it's like, what? It would still be 25 to 35K more a month than he's making right now. That's a win. It's important to acknowledge that if you're not the biggest fan in the world or one of the biggest fans in the world of James Blake, then this probably isn't for you. I am one of those people that he's signed up. I want to know as much peace as this man right here. Show business, baby. This is where I'm at with it. I am always happy to see artists win. I'm not an artist myself. I'm a songwriter and a manager. But any way that artists can find to monetize their music and continue to live however they want to live and make the stuff they want to make, whatever is good for their mental health and their bank account, I support it. It's the bruv for me. Hit that UK slang. No idea what the validity of this site is, so my bad, James, if they undersold you. But it's not like he quote-unquote needs the money, but shouldn't the artist be the person to make the most money out of their own music? Like, how can we not support that? You can do both. You can have options. You don't just have to do one thing. The shade from other artists is what gets me more than anything. Because, damn, like, we're all in this together. No High School Musical. The blatant disregard and hate for subscriptions and direct to consumer just because it's been done before is really funny. Because what did Nas say? That's all I gotta say. If you don't know, look it up. The great philosopher Nas. Nas! Okay, another thing that I find kind of funny about this is that there's another company called Vault, and they are on James' ass about this. And I'm just like, I don't know if he picked the Vault.fm company name or not, but it's like, y'all, this reminds me of like the Clubhouse and Clubhouse. Who was there for that? Were y'all there for that? The trenches. He's really better than me because I would have just ignored a lot of y'all. The best use of capitulating that I've seen all day. The only use of capitulating that I've seen all day, but that's beyond the point. I actually appreciate this question, and I'm not sure if he answered it. And this is actually a similar question that people had when Kanye had the STEM player. You guys remember those? And my hope is that they have all that accounting figured out on the back end. Smart contracts? Who knows? This is the tweet. This is where I'm at with it. Solutions are better than complaints, are better than nothing being said or done at all. I love smart people. No great thing exists without discourse and criticism. So it's important that this conversation is happening. But I would implore you to keep that same energy from the people that have put artists and music makers into this predicament in the first place. Y'all don't be adding a lot of these other... There are people who are making tens of millions, hundreds of millions of dollars each year. Where is the smoke? I need y'all to add them as much as y'all adding James Blake on this Bird app right now. On this former Bird app, I'm sorry. Keep the same energy. Like, keep the same energy. How often do you purchase singles and albums? And if the answer is not often, then there's your answer. And I'm not even saying you're a bad person if you just stick with your DSP of choice. But what we not gonna do is bring down a hardworking, talented artist who wants to invest in other ways to support themselves and support other artists. I personally am a huge live show, live performance, live experience supporter. James Blake is going to be at Gazebo Festival at the end of May. And if you got it and you want to support, you can put your dollars towards that, honey, because I did. We all have choices. We all have choices. Make the choices that make the most sense for you. That's it. We don't gotta be fighting on Twitter or Instagram or wherever y'all be. Just do what works for you. This might be a massive success. This might be a massive failure. Welcome to the world of startup, where we don't know what's gonna happen until it happens. I'm proud of you, James. I'm rooting for you. I'm excited to see how this goes. I will be watching very closely, as I usually do. Find more of my takes more formally on these kinds of things on businessinsider.com. If you're an artist that's interested in being a part of what's happening here with Vault, you can go to their website, vault.fm, and apply as an artist. If you have questions, send an email to help@vault.fm, and they got y'all. And keep me posted on what you find out.